All right, everybody, welcome Chris Drury. We have him here today from Blount Foods and Fine Foods, not just foods. And he's an expert when it comes to foods. He's going to tell us a little bit about it. So, what do you do with Blount
I'm
Foods?
Director of Customer Care. We are based in North America in Fall River, Massachusetts. It's a five-generation family, privately held business. We make about 80% of the refrigerated soup in the country.
80%. That's huge. So, Campbell's and all that is not.
Their center store in a can.
Yeah, that's true.
We're refrigerated in the deli.
That makes sense. Okay.
Under brands like Panera, a lot of the store brands. Chowders, bisques, all kinds of soups, mac and cheese. When you go to the kettles in those
Yeah.
stores and self-service, that's usually
That's
us
you
as
guys.
well.
Yeah,
Restaurants.
I've been to a lot of the when you go to grocery stores and they have the food, the soups ready to go.
Mhm.
So
That's
that's
it.
you guys that do it
Predominantly.
behind the scenes.
Yes.
But I like how it says fine foods because at that point it's distinguishing versus canned food or highly a lot of processed food, I guess. Right?
Yeah, all highly clean ingredients. It's a requirement of our business. We try and source locally all the time. So, for instance, all the chowders and bisques, that seafood, as long as we can get as much as we need, it's all locally sourced in the New England area. Yeah.
Which is critical because there's been so much bad news about when you get fresh foods, if they don't get the right ingredients on there, people are getting sick. So it's
Yeah.
good that you guys consider that.
Very
Now,
true.
what would you say? Because Blount Fine Foods is not a company that a lot of people have heard of or understand unless you're in on a bigger scale, might we say. So how do you what's your main approach on getting people to know who you guys are and to
Well, we
approach you?
start with the Panera brand. We've had that licensing agreement with them and a long-standing relationship, which is great. But for us, it's about how much of a footprint can we have in the deli space.
Okay.
So we do have two of our own personal brands, and they typically will sit in the same refrigerated cases as Panera. So you have Blount Clam Shack seafood soups, and you'll have the Blount's Family Kitchen, which are typically meals in bowls. So for us, it's working with category management in the store to have Panera there, to have the Blount products there, to have the store brand there, not only in prepackaged cups, but also in the kettles.
Awesome. And then you said you focus on the customer service side, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So what drives your success?
Well, it's humanizing it for us. Every time someone calls into my team or interacts through chat or through email, we want to make sure those consumers get more than what they expected at the end of that interaction. So, about 40% of our interactions are actually just inquiries. People just reaching out, they want to engage, they have a question, they just expect an answer, but we're commonly sending them coupons after the fact. We ask them to call us back after they try something new, and we do promote different soups with those folks when we engage them.
Okay. And then what is kind of like the onboarding process? Because this is very human based and understanding people's needs and things can go wrong. So how do you guys keep the human factor of it and with all different levels of support?
Yeah, so for our agents, they spend quite a while just absorbing the business before they're actually going to be
Okay.
live with a
Through
consumer.
consumption?
Oh, we do it all the time. Yeah, so we have a lot of plant tours, a lot of interaction
Oh.
with our culinary team. Every week we have what we call cuttings, and that's where we're sampling a lot of different products for one reason or another. It's a new product at launch, so we're going to watch that for the next 90 days. So every time we produce it, we'll have a sample at that cutting. Sometimes we have a high rate of consumer complaints against the product for some reason. So now we're watching that product every week to see what the production of the product looks like so that we're ensuring, based on consumer feedback, we identified an issue, let's try and correct the issue and ensure that that's gone.
Very cool. So you guys have done an amazing job if you've been growing to that scale, maintaining the same or the growth, I'm sure. And I've
Yeah.
heard of Panera, and it's a great approach to take the human side of the customers and also make sure that you have the employees engaged on both sides, not just the support, but also understanding what the customers go
Yeah,
through.
it's important for me. I work hard with the team. I want them to always remember that they could very well be the person on the other side
Yeah.
of that interaction. So if it was you, what kind of response would you expect from the person that was servicing you?
Tell us a little bit about what got you and your company interested in SOCAP.
Well, in 2016, Todd Blount, the owner of our company, came to me and said, you've been running the business side and our traditional customer service, which is order management, for quite some time. Build this thing called customer care because we're at a point in our growth where we need that functionality in the company to respond to consumers. Naturally, it's like, how do you do that? Where do you go? What technologies do you use? How do you build these systems? What models exist? And the one place that kept coming up to learn all of these things is SOCAP.
Awesome.
Across everybody. Sam DiLiberto, Beth Ziff from Premiere recommended it to me. They were my third-party support team. Mike Wilkie and Josh Wilkie of the former Wilkie Global Company that later got acquired by Astute. Those guys recommended I come here to SOCAP. And it just becomes this great family, right? I've never seen it in any other industry where you can sit with people like this, you know, in these conferences and the meetings. And the big value in that is just talking about, I have a current issue. How are you guys handling that? I'm looking at web chat now. We haven't had it before. We have to add it on. What did you guys do? Who do you use for your technology provider? What would be some pitfalls maybe you experience if you had to do it all over again? What would you do differently about that? You can get so much from these meetings and from these people, because when you walk out of here, I can reach out to anyone I've met at any point in time, and they're going to be very responsive about that.
Wow, that's awesome. And that speaks volumes. At the end of the day, it's not just, a lot of times people have the mentor that you're going to get help, but here's your sometimes you could say competitors or partners in the same scope, but they've gone through the same problem, so you can collaborate at a much higher level.
Yeah, we might be competitors in terms of the products that we supply to consumers, but at the end of the day, we all recognize we're all in the same space trying to accomplish the same thing, which is to elevate the experience for everybody. So it's a very, very open group.
Love it. Thanks again, Chris Drury, and we appreciate your insight and your thoughts.
Thanks, you.